The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Part 2, The Hunter and the Hunted. Together, Blomkvist and Salander begin systematically dismantling the Vanger family's walls of silence. Lisbeth works the digital side, hacking into old computer records, cross-referencing dates, travel logs, financial transactions. She's relentless, almost robotic, treating each piece of data like a puzzle she's determined to solve. Blomkvist works the human side, interviewing family members, following emotional threads, reading between the lines. And the picture that emerges is sickening. Generations of men who treated women like property. Nazis, abusers, con artists, and cowards. A family where silence was the most valuable currency. At the center of it all sits one man. Martin Vanger. Henrik's nephew. Harriet's brother. Current CEO of the Vanger Corporation. On paper, Martin is everything the Vanger name represents: handsome, educated, cultured. He speaks 5 languages. He drives a nice car. He lives in a beautiful house. But there's something wrong with Martin Vanger. Something Lisbeth notices before Blomkvist does. Something in the way he moves. The way he watches. The way his eyes go flat and empty when he thinks no one is looking. Martin's father was Gottfried Vanger, Henrik's brother. And Gottfried Vanger was one of the most vile human beings to ever walk Swedish soil. Gottfried was a Nazi. Not a casual sympathizer, but an active, committed member of the Waffen-SS. He was also a sadist. A predator who believed that certain people existed purely for his amusement. He was charming in public. Monstrous in private. Martin grew up watching his father. Learning from him. Understanding, from a terrifyingly young age, that power meant the ability to do anything, and get away with it. When Gottfried died, drowned in a lake under circumstances never fully explained, Martin didn't mourn. He inherited the corporation, the family name, and his father's appetite. Blomkvist figures it out. Alone. At night. Without Lisbeth. He should call her. He should call the police. Instead, driven by the journalist's fatal flaw, the need to see the story with his own eyes, he goes to Martin's house. It's the dumbest thing Michael Blomkvist has ever done. Martin invites him in. Offers him a drink. Smiles. And then, with the calm, practiced ease of a man who has done this many times before, he slips something into Blomkvist's glass. Blomkvist wakes up chained to a table in a concrete basement. This is where Martin Vanger has been bringing women for decades. Martin stands over him and begins to talk. Not with rage. With the calm, reasoned tone of a CEO explaining quarterly earnings. He tells Blomkvist about his father. About the women. About Harriet. Harriet, Martin explains, figured out the truth about her father and brother. She found Gottfried's hidden room. She saw the evidence. And she was about to go to the police. Martin couldn't allow that. So he did what his father taught him. But he didn't kill her. Not exactly. He thought he killed her. Left her in the water. Walked away. Harriet survived. She escaped the island. She ran. And she's been hiding under a false name in Australia for 40 years. Martin picks up a tool. He leans over Blomkvist. And then the door explodes off its hinges. Lisbeth Salander comes through that doorway like a force of nature. She tracked Blomkvist's phone. Saw him enter Martin's house and never come out. She came alone. What follows is not a fight. It's an annihilation. Martin is bigger. Stronger. Armed. It doesn't matter. Lisbeth moves like electricity. Fast, precise, devastating. She doesn't fight fair because fair is a concept for people who can afford to lose. Martin breaks free. Runs to his car. Tries to flee. Lisbeth doesn't hesitate. She's on her motorcycle before Martin's car clears the driveway. She pursues him through the dark, icy roads of northern Sweden. A tiny figure on a bike, chasing a speeding car like a predator chasing prey. The road's narrow. The bridge ahead is the only way off the island. Martin realizes he's trapped. He doesn't stop. He accelerates. Martin Vanger drives his car into a concrete barrier at over 100 miles per hour. The monster is dead. With Martin dead and the nightmare exposed, there's one thread left to pull. Lisbeth does what she does best. She hacks. She traces. She follows digital breadcrumbs across continents until she finds what she's looking for. Harriet Vanger is alive. She's been living in Australia for 4 decades. She changed her name. Built a career. Raised a family. She did everything a person can do to build a new life on top of a destroyed one. But she never forgot. She never stopped looking over her shoulder. Now Lisbeth is telling her, it's over. Martin is dead. You can come home. Harriet flies back to Sweden. She walks into Henrik Vanger's study. He's 82 years old now. She's 56. But Henrik recognizes her instantly. The reunion is quiet. No tears. No dramatic speeches. Just an old man and the girl he spent 40 years searching for, sitting together in a room full of pressed flowers, finally at peace. But Blomqvist has one more score to settle. He never forgot about Hans-Erik Wennerström. The man who destroyed his reputation. Now, armed with the full resources of the Vanger Corporation and the most dangerous hacker in Sweden, Blomqvist is ready to fight back. Lisbeth goes into Wennerström's systems. All of them. Bank accounts. Email servers. Encrypted files. She tears through firewalls like they're made of paper. What she finds is staggering. Wennerström isn't just corrupt. He's running one of the largest money laundering operations in European history. Billions connected to organized crime, drug cartels, and international terrorism. Blomqvist publishes a 46-page special report in Millennium that detonates across Sweden like a bomb. Investigations launch in 6 countries. Wennerström's empire crumbles. Kalle Blomqvist had the last word after all. It's Christmas. Stockholm is blanketed in snow. A knock at the door. Lisbeth Salander is standing in the hallway. Holding a small wrapped package. A Christmas present. She thrusts it at him without a word. He opens it. It's a jacket. Expensive. Well made. Exactly his size. He looks up at her. She meets his eyes for exactly 1 second. Then she turns and walks away. He stands in the doorway, watching her go. He thinks about everything they've been through. The island. The basement. The chase. The 40-year-old mystery they solved side by side. He almost calls after her. Almost. But she's already gone. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a story about power. The kind that corrupts, the kind that destroys, and the kind that erupts from the most unexpected places. It's about a family so wealthy they could bury their sins under money and silence for half a century. About a journalist who lost everything and found something worth more than his reputation. And about a girl the world threw away, who refused to be thrown away. Stieg Larsson wrote this novel at night, in a small apartment in Stockholm, after working his day job. He finished 3 books before dying of a heart attack at age 50, in 2004, before a single one was published. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo went on to sell over 80 million copies worldwide. Lisbeth Salander isn't a hero in any traditional sense. She's damaged, dangerous, and deeply antisocial. But she's proof that the people society discards are often the ones with the most to give, and the most to lose. She survived everything. And she never stopped fighting.